Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, got another weekly reading recap coming at you fast. Yeah, lots to talk about. We're reading two books simultaneously at the same time. I guess that's what simultaneously means. But yeah, they're vastly different flavors, or I guess genres would be the proper term for books. But yeah, typically I like to read two different books at once, depending on what mood I'm in. Been in a bit of a reading slump if you've been following for a bit ever since I DNF'd the Throne of Glass series. It's sort of put me off reading as a whole, but I've adopted a couple strategies to get myself out of that this past week. Safe to say it has been working. So we'll kick things off here with this first book I'm reading. I think this is going on week 3 that I have been reading this. And that is Pat Conroy's The Prince of Tides. I am mostly listening to this on audio when I go for walks or if I have some downtime at work, so to speak. I'll chuck it on about halfway through. Need to get cooking with this one because, yeah, like I said, I've been reading this for about 2 weeks now, maybe 2.5 weeks. And I want to finish it. It is very good. It is a very sprawling, epic family saga with multiple timelines and a whole host of characters. In that sense, I have drawn the conclusion this past week that it is similar to Stephen King's It in that way, how it spans multiple timelines with a whole host of characters in this town that is very much a character of its own. And I'm enjoying it. Obviously it's not, well, I guess it does have some elements that are a bit disturbing, similar to It. So in that sense, yeah, they are paralleled in that regard. Maybe It is the only book I ever read that draws even comparison to this one, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'll catch you up to speed, no spoilers if you don't know anything about this book. It was also made into a movie in 1991 starring Barbara Streisand. I'll be looking to watch that, I believe, once I finish the book. I haven't even watched the trailer yet because I don't want to spoil the book. I know those book to film adaptations typically do that. But yeah, I'll catch you up to speed. It tells the story of this childhood, or I guess of this family, through the eyes of the youngest son, and sort of delving into their troubled childhood as the son is relaying his experience growing up to his sister's psychiatrist, as she's in a institution now, as she has harmed herself for the second time now. So that is sort of where the book drops you off, and those converging timelines go back and forth as he tells the stories of his childhood, and then present day, where it's sort of like a romance novel between him and the psychiatrist. Very interesting stuff. And I'm liking it so far. Primarily, like I said, listening to this on audio because I have a physical book that I'm reading on the side as well, to try and get myself out of my physical book slump. Done a couple things to do so let's talk about that. So yeah, like I said, been in a bit of a reading slump since I think, I don't know, maybe the better part of a month now. I've done a couple strategies, aka I've read a short book in Herman Hesse's Panenka. Top 5 book of the year so far. That was a short 160 page just fiction novel, and I love that. Another strategy I've been using is to reread past books that I know I liked. And it actually was perfect timing because if you saw my reading recap last week, I had just watched, all 8 of the Harry Potter movies, one a day past week. I don't know, I was feeling nostalgic for some reason and just wanted to watch them all in order, and I did just that, one a day for the entire week, and was like, hey, what the heck, why not? I should go ahead and reread the books. It has been a while. I'm in sort of a reading slump. I know what the books are about. They're easy to read, and this will just get me back into the vibe of reading a physical book. And so I have been reading the first Harry Potter book, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or the Philosopher's Stone if you're across the pond. But yeah, like I said, this is sort of getting me maybe not out of my reading slump, but maybe just getting me back into reading how I started those many years ago, reading the Harry Potter books before bed. I've been doing that this week, a couple chapters before bed, and it's good. Obviously, it's a children's book, so it goes by pretty quick. I've read it for about 2 days, and we'll finish it tonight. But yeah, it's sort of twofold why I'm rereading them. I'm in a different phase of life now than when I when I previously read the series. And I think that's sort of a good judge with any books. I know people do it with a whole myriad of different books. I guess this one I'm doing with the Harry Potter series. I've read it once as a child when the books all came out. I read it once in college when I was feeling like homesick and it was peak COVID and all that sort of stuff. And now I'm reading it again, post-college, post-grad, new job. Well, not new job. I've had this job for a while, but just sort of new apartment, new me sort of things. And yeah, it's interesting to see different things I'm picking up on now that I'm in this different phase of life, and I'm remembering things as I'm reading the book. I'm finding new details just within the plot, and yeah, it's interesting nonetheless to reread this series as like seemingly in 3 different phases of my life, and I'm enjoying it. So yeah, like I said, these are I specifically remember the first 3 books are like written for children and how they read and how they were written, and then I know they adapted a more mature audience as they progress. So I'm looking forward to those. These first 3 are pretty light. I'll probably read the next 2 this coming week and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I was feeling nostalgic, watched the movies, figured I would reread the books, and then there's that parallel of like, how are the books different from the movies, and how are the books better than the movies, and what ways are the movies better than the books, and so on and so forth. And yeah, just a lot to think about and flip back and forth since I just watched the movies and now I'm reading the books. I forgot how good the books are, regardless of your opinion on the series or what have you. The impact it has had on the literary landscape cannot be taken lightly. These are the reason that I got into reading in the first place, and why I own all these damn books behind me, was because I liked reading the Harry Potter series so much, growing up and watching all the movies and things of that nature. And yeah, so enjoying this. I think that's all I can say about that. What else is new? Life updates. I'm still on my weight loss grind. Definitely over the halfway point, I think. Thank God. I kid. It's been pretty good so far. I don't know. Am I enjoying it? Yes. I'm gonna say yes, because if I say no, then I'll have to believe myself. And so I'll say yes. I'm enjoying the process so far. I've been about 4 months, down a little over 30 pounds, and yeah, every day getting one step closer. Made a good investment in said progress this past week, and I got a walking pad for my apartment. Today was the first day I had it set up and really put it to the test. I just sort of plugged it in front of the TV and elevated it off the ground a bit so it wouldn't overheat, and went to town, and lo and behold, 18,000 steps today with seemingly no soreness, no tightness, no nothing for that amount of activity. So it's already paying off. I am liking it. I mainly got the walking pad just for days when it's like either wicked cold out or raining. Actually, it rained all day today, so that was perfect for what I needed it for. But yeah, walking pad, sort of the next step. I've been good about my sort of activity level, my step goal for the better part of 4 months now, averaging like 11 to 12,000 steps a day. I think this will just make it easier to do that. Not that it was ever difficult to begin with, but maybe that average goes from 11 to 12, maybe to 13 to 14,000 steps, so on and so forth. As I get, I guess, lower in body weight, I will burn less calories. So upping the activity level from here on out can only do good things, only marginally, but I digress. Yeah, workouts have been okay. Getting my activity in. I don't know. Life is good. I'm reading 2 good books, progressing on my goals. I don't think there's anything left to say about that. I hope you all are doing the same thing. I hope you're chasing something that's fulfilling you as I am here on this channel. But a bit of a weird one today. I'll stop the yapping here. I have my nighttime routine to get to. It's a little late now, so I gotta hop in bed and start reading to finish up this book. However, will it end? I have no idea. Or do I? Because I've already read it 3 times. Yes, we'll see. But yes, I appreciate your watching up until this point. Consider subscribing if you're new. Give it a like if you liked it and things of that nature, all the YouTube things. And yeah, appreciate you being here. Thanks for hanging out, guys. See ya.